Good evening and welcome to Northbeat. I'm Juanita Taylor. Megan is away. Whitehorse RCMP have arrested a man linked to sexual assault over the weekend. Police say a woman was being followed as she was running along the popular Millennium Trail on Saturday morning in broad daylight. They say the man punched her multiple times and threw her to the ground, and that she fought back, then escaped. In a show of support for the victim, more than 30 people packed into a downtown courtroom this afternoon when the suspect made a court appearance. Amy Kenny was one of them. She says the assault is yet another reminder of the misogyny women face. And she has a message, especially for men.
I want men to call out other men for bad behavior. Like next time you're in a room with a family member or a friend or a colleague or a casual acquaintance who says something misogynistic or like jokingly sexist or casually chauvinistic, don't just sit there and laugh along or say nothing. I think that's where this kind of thing starts.
I don't want my daughter to have to worry about where she is and who's around her, but I'm going to. Sorry. Yeah, I want men in our community to stand up with us. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Crown prosecutors requested a publication ban on all court proceedings in the case. The court has granted it. The RCMP note that a publication ban on the name of an accused is not usual practice. Still, police say this isn't a bid to protect the integrity of the investigation, which is in the early stages. An RCMP statement issued yesterday described the suspect as a white male in his early 20s. Supporters have organized an event for this weekend for the woman who was attacked. The Manitoba Inuit Association, or MIA, has fired its former chief executive officer. Nastania Mullen was removed 1 week after an Ottawa woman came forward with allegations of abuse. MIA announced the change Friday in a Facebook post. The association says it's asking an outside organization to conduct an independent and trauma-based investigation. Nobody from MIA responded to requests for more information. The change in leadership comes amid a larger movement to hold Mullen and MIA accountable for their conduct. None of the allegations have been proven in court, and Mullen has not been charged. Mullen would not comment when he was reached by phone on Friday evening. Police in Fort Providence, Northwest Territories found what they believe is crack cocaine and drug paraphernalia during a traffic stop in the community last week. 2 people were arrested, a man and a woman, both originally from Fort Simpson. The pair faces drug possession charges related to trafficking, among other charges. They were released from custody and are scheduled to appear in court on January 20th in Fort Providence. Well, residents in Nunavut's high Arctic now know who will be representing them in the legislature. Stephen Taktu won a judicial recount on Friday in the Inuktitut constituency. He defeated Philip Kaluk by 14 votes. This will be Taktu's first time serving in the Nunavut Legislative Assembly. A recount was also held in Paulatuk that determined Johnny Mike the winner. And voters in the riding of Agu will have to go back to the polls on December 15th after the recount there ended in a tie. The leadership forum, when the Speaker, Premier, and Cabinet will be chosen, is scheduled for next Tuesday in Iqaluit. The Inuktitut Lodge in Paulatuk is getting ready for expansion. The project aims to welcome more visitors to the community. The lodge is a part of IN's North network of hotels and is owned and operated by the local co-op. Until now, the lodge had 15 rooms and was often fully booked. The expansion will add 16 more rooms and 2 suites. The expansion will also use a modular design, which will be faster than traditional construction. Arctic cooperatives say the extra space will help the community host larger events.
Sometimes the constraint is the in-community accommodations. To be able to host a meeting that might have 12 people or 15 people or 20 people attending, well, now that same cap isn't going to exist in Pangerton. Now Pang becomes another option.
The expansion is expected to be completed early in the new year. Tomorrow, the James Bay and Northern Quebec Agreement marks its 50th anniversary. It was a historic agreement between the province of Quebec and Cree and Inuit groups who fought for the deal. It paved the way for the hydroelectric development of James Bay. Now, half a century later, there's mixed reaction from Nunavut and Cree impacted by the agreement. Bianca McEwen reports.
As Margaret Fireman opens the door to her childhood home in Fort George, Chesapeake, memories start flooding back of time spent playing outdoors by the riverbank. But she also carries lasting scars from her childhood, like the day she left her home behind because of a risk of flooding with the hydroelectric dams.
We thought it was like a matter of urgency, Your island is going to disappear. You have to move from here. You're in the way.
Fireman was part of a forced relocation from Fort George Island to the mainland's south shore of the La Grande River. She says the dams changed everything.
Well, this used to be a river. Now it's a big body of water. It's artificial. It's not real. But a river was something really important because that's why we're identified as the people of the Great River, Chesapeake. That's our name. From our ancestors right up to now, we were always called that.
Now, in Chesapeake, there's scars from the dams, and also growth, like for 25-year-old Darius Niakapo, who runs a garage. He says he admires the work signatories did that allows him to be an entrepreneur today.
We're so fortunate because we have this entity to help us with schooling because they provide funding for our youth to be able to attend higher education like college or university and what path they want to take in their life.
But Inuk signatory Charlie Watt has mixed feelings. He criticizes the fact that regional institutions are still under Quebec's control.
They kept the governance side of it, the actual power on their side, but they never let go of that. That's the problem. So for that reason, and I do strongly believe that the whole matter has to be redone.
Watt says now he's talking to lawyers to take the agreement back to the Supreme Court of Canada. And for Fireman, she says she wishes more people knew where their electricity comes from and the impact this dam had on communities like hers. Bianca McEwen, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Well, a new trend in poppies has been growing in the north. Some are made of sealskin and some are beaded. And for the first time this year, you may see some serving members wearing handcrafted Indigenous poppies at Remembrance Day ceremonies. Earlier this year, the Canadian Armed Forces amended their official dress code as a gesture of reconciliation. And that means a lot for one artisan in Yellowknife. Jerry Sharp has been making beaded poppies for the past 10 years, and she came by earlier today to show me some of her work and why it matters.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Juanita, it's good to see you again.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you too. Thank you so much for coming in to chat with me about these beautiful beaded poppy pins that you've been making.
Thank you. I love making them.
Tell me about it.
Well, all of my poppies are made with different banding, different color banding, different colored beads. The centers have crystals in there with some silver part there. I like to put 2 different colors of banding and of course the leather backing in the pin. It is within the new guidelines that the military has set out.
I wanted to talk to you about that because just this year the Canadian Armed Forces have approved for beaded poppies to be worn by anybody who wants to take part
while in uniform
yes. At Remembrance Day ceremonies. Okay, so talk about those guidelines.
So the guidelines are very specific. When it comes to the color, they want red poppies with black accent. They do allow for quills, antler, ivory, sealskin, anything of that's used in Indigenous art to be used as well. It does need to be within 3.8 centimeters to 5.2 centimeters.
Wow.
So very specific, but That's the only strict thing about it.
So you've been having to measure as you're making your poppies.
Truthfully, my pattern already fit within the guidelines.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, well that makes sense. And talk about just the orders you've been getting for these poppies.
The first came from a friend of mine who is a member of the military. She wanted a poppy and she wanted to know if I made them. Normally, I only do custom orders for poppies. It's maybe like 2 or 3 a year. But the moment she sent me the guidelines, I was happy. I was happy to see that. So I decided to make more to have available for others that wanted to buy them. And I ended up making like 35.
This year you've made about 35. Why do you think the demand has grown so much?
Because
so
of the
fast?
change in the policy.
Okay.
And from my perspective, that's a step towards reconciliation because it's building in Indigenous art that already exists to something that is viewed as very strict. So giving that leeway for reconciliation and the future.
I wanted to talk to you about why you think it's so important.
This is
and
why.
Even as an artisan, for somebody who makes these, why it's important for you that this change has happened.
It gives me pride for me to see other people wearing them. I take great pride in using a lot of high quality materials in what I make, and no two are the same. So I like making them all different. So that gives me a lot of pride as an Indigenous artist, somebody that sews, and to have the military wearing them makes me even prouder.
Yeah, it's quite important.
Yes.
And especially to have the military acknowledge this, the Canadian Armed Forces.
Exactly.
Acknowledge this. So what do you hope Canadians across the country, what do you hope that they will think of even when they see beaded poppies?
They will see the work that goes into it, and it's not just for profit. There's meaning behind that. There is steps towards reconciliation, moving forward together in a good way, that we are in this together. And that's what reconciliation is all about. It's both sides going forward together.
Yeah, and it must make you very proud as an artisan.
It does.
As a Inuk woman, to be able to, craft these beautiful one-of-a-kind pieces and to see people wearing them.
I love watching people buy them and going ooh and ah and trying to figure out which one to buy. It's the same thing with earrings, that you feel that pride and people recognize the work that's put into them.
Well, I think this one is so beautiful, Jerry.
Thank you.
I'm going to buy this and I'm going to wear this.
Thank
you so much.
Ma.
And I will treasure mine always, Jerry. Thank you so much. Well, turning to the Yukon now, where the Teslin Heritage Center has created a poppy sewing kit in honor of Remembrance Day. The kits allow community members and Teslin Tlingit to creatively interpret the symbol of remembrance. The Arts and Events Coordinator at the Teslin Heritage Center says the kits are popular in the community.
So these kits are for the citizens to create their own personal poppy, similar to the ones that the Legion gives out during Remembrance Day. So yeah, it's for the community to express their creativity and to show remembrance for the veterans.
Haicha says the red and black colors of the poppy match the colors of the Tlingit button blankets. She says she's excited to see the community's poppies and what they will look like after they've been sewn together. Well, they are the eyes and ears of Canada's armed forces, and they belong to a group that are 5,000 strong across this nation. They are the Canadian Rangers. The CBC's Gord Lovren spent time with the Rangers in Teslin, Yukon.
They walk on the tops of mountains and at the bottom of valleys. They're the eyes and ears of Canada's armed forces, and they belong to a group that are 5,000 strong across this nation. They are the Canadian Rangers.
My Tlingit name is Siki, and I'm from the Kokatan clan, Kokatan Ayahat, Teslin Kwan.
My Tlingit name is Yenshika. I belong to the split-tailed beaver, which is the Deishitang clan of Teslin.
As Canada's primary reserve, the Rangers provide support to Canada's armed forces. As local citizens, they provide knowledge and insight about the land and special defensive features that soldiers south of 60 wouldn't know about.
We use some things like trees and let them know how they could use that to block the sun and use it as a mosquito repellent. These are all things that we know.
To be contributing in a manner that helps the patrol in terms of my knowledge of the land, of where I've been.
Tomorrow, both Reed and Oakley will take part in the Remembrance Day ceremony in Teslin.
So we stand alongside military members as well as veterans, and we pay attention to all of past conflicts, and we understand that freedom is not free.
Whatever branch of the military, we're there as one, and that we support each other, and that we should do the same as Canadians, is always look out for one another.
Reed has been in the Rangers for 33 years. He joined to honor his family's history in the military. His father and uncles served and fought in conflicts around the world, and so did his grandfather. Today, Reed displays his father's medals to show his respect.
As far as I recall, these are medals for being in Europe during the victory of Europe during the Second World War. And this is his Canadian decoration, which is the same medal I have. And this would have his name on it. The rest are from his time in the Canadian military.
Both Reed and Oakley simulate how they will approach the cenotaph in Teslin tomorrow. Canadians may not know that the poppy is offered to the cenotaph by the military and other public service agencies. It symbolizes laying to rest those who gave their lives in war.
Do it with kindness, but also remember that there's people that fought and died for us, to allow us to do that, to care for one another.
Tomorrow, Canada will pay tribute, much like these Tlingit Rangers will do. Gordon Loverin, CBC News, Teslin, Yukon.
Another Canadian Ranger, this one from Nunavut, will be taking part in the National Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa tomorrow. Pond Inlet's Titus Alulu will be delivering a message and in Inuktitut. CBC News will bring you live coverage of the event beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Well, as we remember those who fought for our freedom, we must also remember the Indigenous people who sacrificed their lives in both world wars. Saturday was National Indigenous Veterans Day. But while Canada recognizes their service now, the country has a history of denying dignity to Indigenous veterans. Many were buried in simple graves, neglected and forgotten. One man here in Yellowknife is working to change that. From 2022, here is my story with Floyd Powder and his efforts to change that.
So it's Augustin is up here.
World War II Métis veteran Augustin Beaulieu is buried here in Lakeview Cemetery. Fresh snow making his military headstone stand out. This will be the first Indigenous Veterans Day where Beaulieu's grave is marked with a headstone. Before, it was a wooden cross that had rotted away, leaving his final resting place unmarked and unknown for years. It was through research done by Floyd Powder that Beaulieu's grave was found and restored.
A different division of Veterans Affairs is this monument and restoration that. I checked various sources and I couldn't find them. Find the grave identified that Augustin Beaulieu was buried there, but had that article of August Beaulieu being, shot in there. So I'm assuming it was him, but the city couldn't confirm, so I had to do more digging.
Beaulieu, originally from Fort Resolution, Northwest Territories, survived World War II. He served with the Canadian Scottish Regiment. Now, his family is content.
And as a family, it's brought us, a lot of us together. And, we can always meet up and be able to go and visit his grave.
Once a week or every couple of weeks, depending on.
Powder, a veteran himself, volunteers his spare time with a federal program called the Last Post Fund.
So when I first was asked to check for a couple of headstones in the cemetery here in Yellowknife, I noticed that there was a number of bases for headstones, but no headstones in them. So to me, that struck me as being wrong.
In 2019, the Last Post Fund started focusing on Indigenous veterans, part of Canada's reconciliation process. To enlist in war, all Indigenous soldiers had to give up their treaty rights.
Indigenous veterans, when they retired from their service after World War I, II, and even Korea, they were denied benefits as their as their colleagues that they served on the battlefield with.
Métis pilot Robert Bobby Douglas served 2 tours during the Second World War.
All this water damage, permafrost.
He's buried in Betchacon, Northwest Territories. His grave has also been marked with a military headstone.
They were the forgotten soldiers of Canada, forgotten veterans. And now those individuals are going to be recognized for their service. So when somebody walks through a cemetery like this, and they'll see that this person provided service for our country.
Douglas died before knowing he'd get recognized for his service to Canada. But just days before he died, he applied for and got his treaty status back.
But his life was that of a Métis. He worked hard with the Métis of the Northwest Territories and did everything as a Métis. But for 1 week, he was First Nation.
For Powder, he knows more research needs to be done, more graves to be restored.
One of the sad things about the overall cemetery is that where Augustine is buried, he was unmarked. There's a whole section in that middle plot there that are unmarked.
Unmarked for now. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Yellowknife.
And since the last post fund started, 48 headstones have been installed across the north, including Yukon. Floyd Powder will also be taking part at the annual Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa tomorrow. Well, like in almost every community across the north, jamborees, dances, Halloween parties, you name it, these gatherings happen at the community gym. And that's no different in Paulatuk, Northwest Territories, where the hamlet is trying to build a dedicated community hall with more space. But as Leni Lambering tells us, that process has been challenging.
Halloween in Paulatuk, Northwest Territories. After the kids go trick-or-treating, a group of adults get together at the gym for their own fun. It's all put together by the recreation coordinator. She says some of the community's events draw a huge crowd.
Jamboree, it's packed. That's all I'll say, it's packed. There's even people standing behind the glass. So hopefully there'll be a lot more space when the community hall is built.
This area behind me here is where the hamlet hopes that the community hall will be built. In between the arena, which is directly in front of me here, and the youth center, which is this red building over my shoulder. The federal government gave the hamlet of Paulatuk $2.3 million for this project back in 2022. And with the hamlet's own contribution of about $800,000, it has about $3 million to work with. But the mayor says that's not enough.
I think the biggest obstacle is funding. You know, we didn't realize that the plans that we had made, even though we have an engineer and helping us out, that our plans didn't match the funding we had available.
We have designed that we would have offices here, and these would be rental offices, and these would be our building manager office.
The purpose of the rental offices would be to generate the hamlet some income that would help cover the cost of running the community hall. But as the hamlet explores options to get the project off the ground, those offices might end up on the chopping block.
We're trying to reach out to get more funding as what is presented right now. But if we do have to minimize our offices just to bring the cost down, that's what we may have to do with the funding that we have.
The community has until 2027 to use the federal government's money. Paulatuk Mayor Raymond Rubin says he is worried about the project, that every year it gets more and more expensive to build in the north. But he's hopeful Ottawa will be flexible if more time or money is needed to get the community hall built. Leni Lambering, CBC News, Paulatuk.
And Leni just spent a couple of weeks in Paulatuk meeting everyone and gathering stories, and we look forward to bringing you more of those in the days to come here on Northbeat. Well, Nunavut Incorporated has announced this year's winners for the Inuktitut writing competition. The association celebrated the winners at a gala in Iqaluit on Saturday. CBC's Caitlin Joannis has more.
The writing competition was created to keep the Inuktitut language strong and alive into the future. NTI usually gives authors a theme to write about, but this year they were given the freedom to write about anything they wanted. Daniel Paulatuk of Paulatuk came in second place. He wrote a military story about Canadian Rangers in his home community and set in 2027. He says he's read some books about military, but nothing about Rangers in Nunavut. He also says it was hard to keep a secret that he was one of the finalists.
I had to keep quiet about it for a long time. We were notified a week ago. We told our family, but had to keep it quiet.
Regili Amak of Iglulik received the $3,000 award. She says she wrote about going to Avaja and going out on the land near Iglulik. And she encourages people to learn to speak and understand Inuktitut.
For the people that have lost their language, you can relearn it. It is not too late to relearn it.
The first place winner, Megan Mata Ongalak, took home $80,000. She'll also get support from NTI to turn her story into a full-length novel. Caitlin Jonas, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Well, that's Northbeat for tonight. It's been a pleasure for me to be here with you this hour. For news anytime, you can head to cbc.ca/north. I'm Juanita Taylor. Have a good evening.